Well, hello guys. Today we got new UFO stories coming. Yeah. Today on Real UFO Stories, we move to Egypt. We move to Africa, and we have beautiful sites from 2010, from Karnak, Luxor, UFOs hovering around the pyramids, Karnak, 1900 BCE. We're going also to Moses' reign. We're going to the tale of the shipwreck. We're going to African Egypt. We're going to see what happened about the mysterious story of the Tulli Papyrus and many other tales. We're going to start with Egypt with the Tulli Papyrus. That is great. Great story. Here with your host, Colin Rivas from colinrivas.tv. Subscribe there if you want to. Subscribe right here on YouTube. Well, by these UFOs of ancient Egypt, they were revealing, and this is called the so-called, let's say, Tulip Papyrus. It's very mysterious, very enigmatic text, unlike any other text that people are interested in, has disappeared. Um, it could probably have been written like around 1480, 1500s before Christ, and it tells us about the first probably account of UFO sightings we have on written form. Yeah, it's around the 18th dynasty, Tutmosis the Fourth. Yeah, Tutmosis the Fourth there, and ancient Egypt, as you know, it's known for many things. Incredibly wealth of ancient culture, civilization, archaeology, monuments, is the mother of all civilizations probably, but also its mysterious deities and some of the most peculiar tales of the ancient world. Some of the deities, obviously, how describe them, they look and sound and seem extraterrestrial, alien in origin. And one such a strange thing, a little known story, is of an ancient Egyptian document called the Tulip Papyrus. And rather than being a typical Egyptian papyrus, the Tulip Papyrus is a text that describes in great detail a huge UFO sighting or an invasion of many objects invading um, and let's say taking over for a few days ancient Egypt during the reign of Thutmose the third. You see there, and this is in the library of the Vatican. Now, the text was forgotten for many years, or many centuries, before it would go viral during the 1930s, during a visit to Cairo in 1933, right way before the Second World War, by Alberto Tulli, from whom the text takes its name. Yeah, director of Egyptian section of the Vatican Museum allegedly discovered an interesting papyrus in an antique store, and Tulli thought the papyrus was too expensive but valuable to buy it. So instead, he made a copy of it. He made a copy of the original piece and replacing the original hieratic script with hieroglyphics. Yeah, that's why some people they are dubious about it. But nevertheless, Alberto Tulli and his alleged papyrus became a hit within the UFO-related folklore and UFO fanatics, and many ufologists use it as an undeniable source of alien visitation, yeah, and evidence. It is considered to be one of the earliest known records of a fleet of flying objects or saucers reading on a papyrus and invading ancient Egypt. Yeah. Of course, there can be many interpretations of these, but the papyrus was severely damaged and contains several gaps too. A determined Prince Boris of Rachowitz managed to translate it and declare that it was a papyrus part of the annals of Thutmose III. There's an unfortunate detail in the story, though. Nothing in the ancient text refers to the pharaoh by name, but events and things that occur in the text. It seems to point out that is the case, that is from Thutmose's 1817 dynasty. Yeah. So there are two individual translations of the ancient text. One by Prince Boris the Rachowitz, of Rachowitz. Yeah, Rachowitz, how you pronounce it, I don't know. And the other one is by anthropologist R. Cedric Leonard. Let's give it a try to the first one. It says, and it goes uh, something like this. Yeah, in the year 22 and the third month of the winter, 6 hour of the day, the scriveners of the House of Life found it was a circle of fire that was coming in the sky, though he had no head. The breath of his mouth had a foul smell, odor. Its body one rod long, that's about 150 feet, and one rod large. He had no voice. Their hearts become confused through it, and then they laid themselves on the bellies. They went to the king, question mark, to report it. His Majesty order has been examined as to all which is written in the papyrus rolls of the House of Life, and His Majesty was meditating upon what happened. Now, after some days had passed over these things, lo and behold, they were more numerous than anything. They were shining in the sky more than the sun, to the limits of the four supports of heaven. Powerful was the position of the fire circles. The army of the king looked on, and his majesty was in the midst of it. It was after supper, after dinner. Thereupon the fire circles, went up higher, directed to the south. Fishes and volatiles fell down from the sky. It was a marvel never occurred since the foundation of this land. Cause his majesty to be brought incense to pacify the earth. What happened in the book of the House of Life be remembered for the eternity. So there you have. That's the Prince Boris translation, when I translated the Tulip Papyrus. That is now gone. It's disappeared. There's nothing. Uh, it does derive from translation. So should we believe it or not? How you view this? Is this a supposed UFO sighting that took place around 1415 BC, 1500 BC, and was witnessed by many people? It's pretty safe to assume that ancient Egyptians wouldn't have misinterpreted this fiery disc, these fiery fire circles with astronomical events, lightning, thunder. People say they wouldn't, because they knew perfectly, and natural and astronomical events, since they were extremely advanced also when it came to astronomy. Their expertise in astronomy, other sciences, make historians believe that Egyptians were very capable to tell the difference between astronomy or astronomical or nature events, thunder, lightning, whatever, or meteorites, and something that goes stationary, goes very fast, then goes to the south, and goes back, comes back to the pyramids, etc. Yeah. So the question itself is very puzzling, but the debate should stay open until additional evidence, pops up somewhere. Now we're going to go to the shipwreck, ancient Egypt too. Okay, now we transport ourselves. It's a roller coaster here. There is a guy that's a castaway, get shipwrecked, some mysterious island. We're talking about 1900 BCE, before Christ. Almost like 4,000 years ago. Egypt, the tale of the shipwreck. Listen to this. The location is in Egypt. It's obviously a rural area. It's an island. The number of entities is 75. Yeah, the entity that first introduces himself as a king or a deity is a human-headed serpent, a humanoid. We're talking about reptiles here. That's very interesting too. Yeah, and check it out. It was 30 cubits long. There's a description. His beard, and he was greater than 2 cubits long. His body was overlaid with gold. His eyebrows were real lapis lazuli. It was very popular to compare with blue or something royal during these reigns of Egyptian pharaohs and subjects. Yeah. If we look at Heine classification, this would be what? Close encounter of the fifth kind? Fifth kind? Voluntary bilateral contact between humans and extraterrestrials, perhaps? This shape of the object how they compare it those times. It's like a star, very bright. Witnesses one because the tale of the shipwreck is a castaway. But let's take a look at the description. The first ancient reference to an identified object from the sky in relation to strange beings is found in an authentic Egyptian papyrus, generally considered to belong to the 12th dynasty, 1 2, from 1991 to 1802 BCE before Christ. The text known as the Tale of the Shipwreck was discovered by chance in 1880. And who discovered this? Golinichev in the Hermitage Museum of St. Petersburg, and is now on display at a Moscow museum. It tells how the lone survivor of a shipwreck was carried by the waves to a mysterious tropical island that nobody had seen before. The ruler of the island was a giant, glowing human headed serpent with some offspring too, like around 70 or something. Um, he says, unquote, his body overlaid with gold and its color as that of true lapis lazuli. So this being seemed pleased to meet the unfortunate sailor and invited him to his home as a guest. Yeah, it tells the whole story. To tell the shipwrecked sailor, and there's a translation. You can look it up. It's from 1892. Flinders Petrie, W.K. Flinders Petrie, and speech of an excellent follower. May your heart prosper, my master. Behold, we have reached home. The mallet having been taken, the mooring post is driven in. The bow rope having been placed on land, and thanksgiving and praise to God are given. Everyone is embracing his companions. Our crew returned safely. There was no loss to our army. We have reached the end of Wawat, and we have passed the moon. But behold, we have come in peace, and our land in rich. And then the whole tale turns very catastrophic because everyone dies, and he goes on as a castaway on an island. A storm comes, and while they're at sea, and before they approach land, everyone dies. Waves there like 8 cubits, like very very big, and even a piece of wood strikes the castaway here. Then goes to the island, gets some rest under a tree as a shelter. He gets some figs and grapes. So the island seems to be like paradise too. They have sycamore, figs, cucumbers, fish, lots of fish, birds there. So it's a desert island with a lot of stuff happening there. Yeah, and then this creature appears from what is called like also like a planet or a star, because that's the way probably described it. And then, who has brought you here? Who has brought you here, commoner? Who has brought you to this land in the sea whose sides are in the water? Yeah. So it's an island. Yeah. It's talking about an island. This is the alien that appears to this guy. Yeah. Then the guy starts describing the alien ship and the alien itself. The alien tells him about brothers and children. And I will not. We total 75 snakes. My children, together with my brothers, I will not mention to you a little daughter whom I had obtained by prayer. Then a star fell, and this went up in flame. So it's talking about some battle to here, the reptoid, humanoid, or whatever is described. Maybe he described it as a serpent because he was very intelligent. I'm not saying that probably the physical appearance was a serpent or a reptoid, but obviously it was a stranger to him. It was not like a human, yeah. And he gave to me a quantity of myrrh, canoe oil, laudanum, acid spice, dipshus spice, perfume, eye paint, and giraffes, sorry, tails, great lumps of incense, elephants' tusks, greyhounds, monkeys. So there's an exchange here. And then it finishes with, then my master said to me, do not continue, my excellent friend. Does one give water to a goose at dawn that will be slaughtered during the morning? It is done from its beginning to its end, as it was found in writing, a scribe excellent with his fingers, Imea's song, Imena. In yeah, and also we're seeing here the dagger by Tutankhamun was discovered and unearthed by the Tomb Raider, you know, Howard Carter in the 1920s. He stole a lot of stuff. And there was a lot of things going on here with Lord Carnarvon and the Rothschilds. And they were competing here. He actually, I've been told that he discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun 8 years before he started unearthing all the stuff. Well, he was already unearthing all the stuff, but he was in another tomb, playing dumb with Egyptian authorities and stuff. So there's a lot of things going on. Some people died, but this dagger from Tutankhamun is very funny because this dagger is made of stainless steel. They say it comes from a meteorite, but they didn't have iron at that time. They didn't have the technology to build that kind of weapons there. Mostly they're like everything is wood or basalt or copper or things like that, but no iron. So they're all bemused by this kind of dagger. It's mysterious. So some people they point out extraterrestrial origin this dagger, and it could be. Why not? It was one of the kings, and these deities they seem to be alien. Now we're gonna move to we go from manuscripts to real more updating modern events. We go into Karnak. Karnak, there was a sighting in Egypt. Karnak, 2004, September 8th, 2004, around 6 in the evening and night. This in Luxor, Egypt. It's the rural areas. It's a daylight disk, metallic or whitish, luminous object seen in the sky. There are actually three objects. It's not one. It's three, and you can find the source, the UFO dash force chung .de. Yeah, UFO dash force chung .de. And the description says Mr. L, some German holiday maker there, was on holidays in Luxor, Egypt, and he took several photos of the temples, the statues, with his Nikon camera. He then returned back home to Germany and got the manufacturer departures of the pictures. So he got the development of the pictures. So he took them to develop, and he saw on some of the photos of the Karnak temple that three unknown objects were flying above the temple. One of them hovering and were luminous. Strange because they didn't look like planes. And the terminations are opened by the GP capital letters, E small letter, and V capital letter. I don't know what that is, but this is from the source UFO portion.d and the Luxor incident Karnak temple that appears on these pictures. We go now to the UFO you're watching there. You're watching a UFO there, and the UFO is hovering over the pyramids. This is a UFO, very known photograph over the Giza pyramids on Kefren. There are three pyramids on the Giza plateau: Kefren, Cheops, and Khufu, Kefren, Mykerinos. Yeah, and this is March 23rd, 2006 at 2 in the afternoon. It's daylight. The Kefren Pyramid of Giza is a rural area. It's daylight disk, as you see, metallic, whitish, luminous objects seen in the day. While people were observing it, was moving erratically and doing strange things. So, as you see, it's also like a flying disc. It's a circular oblong. We don't know if there's pilots inside or they show some signs of life, or it's just a probe from outer space. Sources: Ana Luisa Cid and the Piramides de Egipto. Report provided by Alex Estua, director of the enigma-tico.com. This image, as you've been seeing, observing, this image was captured by webcam on March 23rd, 2006. Yeah, March 23, 2006 at 14:04 hours. That says on the timestamp. That is 2 in the afternoon. And it shows an object near the summit of the Kefren pyramid. The object is highly reflective and presents a clear structure, and it's difficult to determine if it faces or is positioned behind the pyramid. Despite the fact that the object has circular shape in the main photo, it has an oblong shape, and in the image taken 47 seconds earlier, possible explanations, they say here: balloon, airplane, kite, insect, jet planes, or satellites. But if you make a more detailed observation, it appears like a different object, obviously. And you can check the translation of the Corrales Institute Hispanic Ufologists there. Thanks to Alex Estrua that passed this on to me. It's clearly a UFO. It's clearly something going on there, something strange. Yeah. Let's go for the final one. No least, no last, the least, last, the least last. Right. The least by no last. Okay. 2010. Unidentified objects appear in the skies of North Sinai. This is June 23rd. We're talking about 2010, almost 15 years ago. 4:30 a.m. That's nighttime because it's early in the morning. Cairo, Egypt. This is rural. Is a nocturnal light point or extended luminous source observed at night by many witnesses, thousands. It says here. Duration is 5 to 10 seconds. Durations is 5 to 10 seconds. So what? Check it out. Check it out. It's one only object. A sphere, whitish, luminous. Uh, Again, multiple witnesses. Summary of these sent by a man from Egypt, civil engineer now. White glowing sphere appeared in the sky and moved horizontally, leaving a white glowing tail behind it. Many UFO sightings happen at different times and sites. Sinai, Cairo, and many other places here in Egypt. As for me, I was one from those who had these sightings at 4:30 in the morning. While I was studying, I saw glowing white light. It was bullish. It was sphere, very small ball indeed, though. I thought it was a star at the beginning since it was standing still, stationary in spite of its larger size, and suddenly moved horizontally, leaving a glowing white tail behind it, and then disappeared at a devilish speed. All this happened in 6, 7 seconds stops. It wasn't a meteor, nor an ancient aircraft, or no, sorry, nor an aircraft, nor ancient, nor a jet plane or whatever, or helicopter. It was something else for sure. A UFO or maybe a highly advanced secret weapon? Satellite? I don't know. The only thing I know is that I'm sure what I had seen, and it was strange. It was fast. Next morning was I was surfing the net, the web, the internet, and opened an Arabic news site called Masarawi. Masarawi is MASRAWY.com. And I found there amazing, something amazing. When I opened it, that the title was "Unidentified objects appear in the skies of North Sinai, causing terror among people," and I was shocked. Here we provide the link in the Arabic. Unfortunately, it's not translated into English. Finally, I'm just asking for a reasonable explanation for these sightings that happened to me and to many others all over the Egyptian country. Thanks for reading this. So this is the very last we have here now, and we're gonna say goodbye to everyone. Thanks a lot. I'm Colin Rivas, your host, and get on to colinrivas.tv, colinrivas.tv. For English speakers, you can go right there. I just have it there beneath. You see it, colinrivas.tv right there, or you can go directly to. Jordan has a very nice book, Jordan Maxwell, Files the World We Called. You can check that out. You can check also Ancient Mysteries by Jordan. Ancient Mysteries is the name of the thing. You can see it there. It's Ancient World Mysteries, and there are many cases like this. Ancient World Mysteries, Jordan Maxwell, and you can find it. You can find it on Amazon or bookstores or whatever. There's another one by Jordan that I took some of these that is UFOs, what they don't want you to know, and past, present, and future UFOs. Check it out. What are aliens? Do they come from the Earth? Do they come from other galaxies? Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you soon then. Yeah. Okay. On Reeves.tv, you got it down there. We'll put it up.